Alright, so today we'll be multiplying powers with the same base. Okay, so now once again, just to review, base is the larger number on the bottom. Now, even though the operation is being done to the base, we actually are just going to be focusing on working on changing the exponent. So the only thing that should change is the exponent. The base should stay the same. Okay, now, what the rule is basically, we call this the product rule for exponents. It was funny, I told someone the other day, oh, go look up the product rule. And he actually looked up the product rule for calculus and did it. And I was going, oh my goodness. Got to start defining those a little bit better. But the product rule for problems is x to the n times x to the m. Okay, notice how they both have the same base. The cool thing is that I can actually just take the exponents and as a shortcut, add them. Alright, it's as simple as that. Now, the reason why I can do that, and I actually have to explain this by using some numbers. So I'm going to use 3 cubed times, let's go 3 squared. Okay? Alright, so technically, you have to expand to understand why these work this way. So I'm going to expand this to be 3 times 3 times 3. And then I'm going to have the times, because the other part is going to be 3 times 3. Okay, well, if you look at that, I could just use a shortcut of exponents. And if you remember, exponents are just a shortcut for multiplication. That is 5 3's right there. So that's 5 3's being multiplied together. So that's 3 to the 5th. Okay, and that's also the same as if I took the 3 exponents and I went 3 plus 2. So in other words, I just added the exponents. So what I've done is I've actually taken the same thing, the same beginning problem, I proved 2 different things with it, so these two have to be equivalent. Okay, and so there we go. That's how we're going to do it. So this first one right up here, they both have the same base. That's the important thing. And it becomes 4 to the 9th. Now, in math, you are going to have to simplify those things. So 4 to the 9th, you can use Desmos for this if you like. You do need to write it out. It is going to be 26 to 144. Okay, just write it out like that. Now, if you'd like to practice your scientific notation, that would be 2.62 times 10 to the 10 to the 5th. Okay, but you don't have to do your scientific notation. All right, now this one right here is tricky. 3 squared times 3. Technically, there's an exponent of 1 here. So this becomes 3 cubed. So even if you're just multiplying just regular numbers, don't multiply the 3 and the 3 and then get 9 squared, because that's not going to be it. It's going to be 3 squared, which actually turns into 27. And once again, I'm not going to do scientific notation with that. Okay, so something as simple as this. Now, so if you have a single number without an exponent, put a 1 on it just to help yourself out. Okay, now can we add positive and negative exponents? Heck and yes, because you're supposed to, and it makes your job a whole lot easier. So this would be 3 plus negative 4, okay, and this equals 12 to the negative 1. And if you remember, we just flip it so it becomes 1/12. Okay. Alright, so you can add positive and negative exponents. Okay, now can we do with different bases? Can we mix them up? No, we can't. This just stays as x to the 5th times y to the 7th. Okay, something as simple as that. This just stays that way. Don't mess with it and try to change it around and go, oh, I need to do this, I need to do this. So the same problem also works with numbers. If you don't have the same base, do not combine exponents. So this does not become 10 to the 5th, okay? This becomes 2 to the 3rd, which is 8, times 5 squared, which is 25, which turns into 200, okay? If you write the other way, you're not paying attention to rules. So we need the same base. That's the title of the chapter that you guys are studying, so please understand, or this part that we're trying to understand, okay? Now the product rule the product rule, you need to understand, has the same base. So if these numbers are not the same, do not do this rule. So this, no, this one, no. Okay. Now what if we mix a whole bunch of stuff together? Okay, so for example, I have just a regular 3, so I'm going to put a 1 on it. I'm going to practice putting a 1 on it. So what do I have? I have 3 to the 4th, because 1 plus 3 is 4. Okay, and then the x's, it's going to be 4 plus negative 2, which is going to be 2. So that's squared. And you can have some time signs in between them, so you can distinguish between them. And then y to the 7th times y to the negative 5th is y to the 7 plus negative 5, which is just y squared. Okay? All right. Now you would need to simplify this one by finding out what 3 to the 4th is, and I believe that is 81. Yep, it is. So this becomes 81 x squared y squared. Okay. All right, and you can write it out like that, and it just makes your job a whole lot easier. Okay. And that is it for exponents. You guys have a wonderful day.